Just another day, another week, and this week is super busy for me. So I am going to make 2 freezer meals, and then I'm also going to talk about what I have as a menu for this week, because sometimes the weeks that I get really busy, writing down a menu frees up so much brain space and I don't have to think about it. So I'm going to share with you what I'm cooking this week. So later this week, I get to travel back east, and I'm gonna meet up with a friend, and together we're gonna go to a wedding, and I basically am going to be gone 5 days total. I'm not bringing the kids, I'm not bringing my husband, they're all staying here at home. The kids are gonna go to grandma's, but my husband, on the weekend he'll be able to bring the kids here with him. So I needed to make sure that I had food for them and food for him. He needs like 3 meals a day. So to start with, I am going to pre-make a lasagna and pre-make a chicken pot pie. I have quite a bit of leftover taco meat that I'm just heating up at the moment. And then as that is heating, I'm gonna boil some water for my lasagna noodles and get a dough ready for the chicken pot pie and such like. And then at some point in time, I will actually tell you exactly what my menu is for the week. So let me tend to the meat and get some water boiling. Okay, the lasagna is coming together pretty quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some sauce made up. I ran out of my homemade sauce. So I use freeze-dried sauce. This stuff works really good. And to make 2 cups of sauce, I need a 1/2 cup of this. You can see that there is, without me spilling it, you can see some of the herbs right there on top. There we go. So I don't normally like to just pour it out, because then I'm afraid just all my nice freeze-dried basil and garlic and whatever else they have in here is gonna come out first. So I'm gonna take a scoop and scoop it. Now I'm going to take 2 cups of really warm water, and voila, just going to take a little whisk, find one. Okay, a little spoon then. It's still kind of chunky in here because it hasn't all like soaked in, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna go ahead and pour it into the hot meat and give everything a stir. That meat is now ready to be used for lasagna meat, and then whatever else I don't use, I will continue to kind of soak it. I'll probably add a little bit more tomato sauce when I want to turn it into sloppy joes tonight and add some other seasoning and whatnot. But for the time being, it's okay. It had been seasoned as taco meat, so I'm hoping that that's okay. Got me some cottage cheese, got regular shredded cheese here ready to go. Just need to wait till my noodles are fully cooked, which means I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the dough for the chicken pot pie. The dough is super simple. I'm just gonna take 2 cups of flour, some salt, take about a stick of butter, and then pour a little cold water in it till everything forms up into a nice dough. And then you can either work with it right away or you can stick it in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna go ahead, just get that started a while. I'm guessing by the time I'm done with that, those lasagna noodles will be ready to go. So I'm gonna go get this put together. I had seen people use these kind of things for butter before, and I kind of really wanted one. And sure enough, I found one at our secondhand store, still in the original box and everything. And let me tell you what, it's well worth it. I don't know what they cost brand new, but at the secondhand store, I think I paid $2 or $3 for it. Yeah, absolutely worth it when you need to take cold butter and get it chopped up into little pieces whenever you're making dough. Definitely well worth it. So I am to the point where I'm going to just add some cold water and see what happens. Okay, gonna need a little more than that. I'm just gonna take it to the sink. It's coming, it's just not in a nice, well-formed. The recipe says 4 to 6 tablespoons. Yeah, no, I do like a half a cup of water. And even then, sometimes I need a little more. Okay, I think this is gonna be good enough until I am ready to roll it out. Yes. Yeah, I know. Go find something to do while he's sleeping. All right, let's start assembling our lasagna here. I'm gonna give that a second just to cool down a little bit, and then I'm going to wrap it up really good in some plastic wrap and stick it in the freezer. Anyways, I'm getting some butter to melt, and then again, you guys, this is legitimate how I cook. I use a combination of my homemade canned foods. I use a combination of store-bought canned stuff, frozen stuff, freeze-dried stuff. This is just how I cook. I love to have a variety of different ways because then I learned what works easiest and best for me. I love these onions. Like I said, I didn't have to chop anything. They're super tiny. My kiddos can't find them. It works out fantastic. I'm gonna give those onions a chance to kind of saute in that butter before I get it a little thicker. So basically I'm kind of making a roux or a base with some butter and then some flour. And then I'm gonna add some chicken broth, a little bit of milk, and probably just peas and peas and corn. Forgot to grab a can of canned carrots when I was down in the basement, and I just don't want to run back down there. So the veggies are gonna be onion, corn, and peas. So let me go get the frozen veggies and some flour. All right, flour in here. Now, I'm sure you could absolutely cheat and just use like a cream of chicken soup and stuff like that, and it would work just as well. But this way I can use some of my homemade chicken broth and just kind of make it much more of a homemade. Does anybody else cook that, you know, the recipe is just a suggestion? And forget measuring everything. Just throw it in there until it looks right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, throw in the veggies. That cook and simmer simmer up a little bit, and I am going to roll out the dough and find another square pan to put it in. Time to clean up my shelf a little bit. I love doing pre-made meals because it seems like it goes faster. Probably because then I don't have to wait for the cook time. The one negative downside is all of a sudden I have a ton of dishes to have to do. Grease the bottom of your pan. Is it perfect? No. Will it work? Absolutely. Now we roll out the top. There we go. Once again, it's not perfect. I don't aim for perfection. And since the corners are open, I don't have to worry about slicing the dough with a knife. Again, I'm gonna let this cool down just a little bit and then find a flat place in my freezer and stick it in. And just like that, I have 2 meals ready to go in the freezer. I have supper simmering back here, and I will add a little bit more stuff and turn that into sloppy joes. Originally, I was gonna do like a green bean burger rice casserole thing, but decided to switch off to sloppy joes instead. Tomorrow for lunch, we are gonna do a beef and noodle that my mom had made for us. She had made a pizza for us for lunch today too. And then tomorrow evening, if all goes according to plan, I'm gonna do meatballs and mac and cheese. Wednesday for lunch, I had went to the grocery store last week and bought like a whole bunch of freezer stuff. So Wednesday for lunch, I picked up some like orange chicken and pre-made fried rice. So we'll have that. Wednesday night for supper, I'm gonna do a ham in the crock pot. And I'm gonna go over here to the refrigerator so I can see what the menu is. So then Thursday for lunch is just gonna be soup and sandwiches. Thursday night for supper is when I'm hoping that Kirk can have that lasagna. Friday, again, he'll either have leftover lasagna for lunch or, you know, sandwiches and salad or sandwiches and soup. He only lives about a mile from work, so he comes home every day for lunch. And so I try to make sure that he has a meal. He has a very high metabolism, so he needs to like legitly eat 3 meals a day. So breakfast, he's kind of on his own. He can figure that out. So that gives us, Friday was leftover lasagna, Friday night burger and some fries. Saturday for lunch is frozen pizza. He'll probably have the kids by then. And then Saturday night for supper, he can do the chicken pot pie that we just did. Sunday, probably some canned soup. And supper was a canned chow mein. We've never tried the canned chow mein. I normally just make it, so hopefully that turns out good. And then Monday, he'll go back to sandwiches or leftovers. And Monday evening, he will have steak and probably like throw a potato in the microwave and stuff like that. So that is a full week's worth of food. So if you need to pause or rewind and go back for some ideas, do so. Thanks for following along. If you're still here, why don't you comment below a easy pre-make meal, or maybe some meal ideas, and we can all kind of get a thread going to help us all brainstorm on what to make for menus, because it's busy summertime. And so list a few of your favorite easy, simple dishes, and then maybe you will be able to make a menu for yourself for the next week or two. So anyways, have a great one. We'll catch you next time.